Hey everyone, in this video, I'm going to share my simple trading plan on gold. We're going to talk about my full analysis, profit targets, and entries and exits, no matter if the market goes up or down. And as you can see from last week, this pretty much played out perfectly. So make sure you watch until the end because you're going to learn so much from this video. And this week has been kind of rough on me because I have been getting over this cold. I didn't even know if I was going to do this video today, but I know that there will be a lot of sad people if I didn't. So I'm going to do this video and then the other video, US 30, which will be coming up tomorrow. So anyway, so let's just start with some fresh analysis. Like always, let's go to the weekly time frame. Let's actually remove all of our drawings. And let's reset our view. So as we can see on gold this week, we have this huge bullish engulfing. So that leads me to believe that there's a possibility for price to possibly continue higher, but I don't know about how much because at this point, it's made the highest high that it has made in this market ever, and that is around 2,509.75, at least on this chart. And that is a lot of bullish momentum. So we'll just have to see what happens. And one thing I've been incorporating into my analysis is fundamentals, just basically understanding everything around me and everything surrounding gold and how it could potentially affect the price, mainly because we're in this area where there's no price data. So we don't know what's going to happen. So what I'm going to do, as always, is I'm going to mark off this level at this highest high. So that's what I want to start off by doing. And then I also want to go ahead and mark off this previous support right here at 24.24. And then I also want to clone this level and I want to mark off this support. Now this is a little tricky, mainly because, let me zoom in really quick. Okay, so this is tricky mainly because we have all these wicks right here, 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks, and I want to kind of get the average of these wicks here. So I want to place it right around here, around 23.68, but I do have a feeling that as we go down to lower time frames, we're going to make an adjustment. So let me just go ahead and mark off another level right here. Let's mark it off at, let's say, 22.89, and mainly because we have a nice support here. And then we also have 1, 2, 3 really strong wicks, and then this one kind of gapped, but it's close enough. So let's go ahead and go down to the daily time frame. So let's reset our view. Let me zoom in really quick. Okay, cool. So I like this marked off right here at the highest high. And then what I'm looking at right now is I'm trying to see where price pretty much lines up. So I'm just going to drag this out a little bit. Okay, so I like this right here. And basically what I'm looking at is I see this resistance right here. And then I also see a rejection here. I see a bunch of rejections here. And then there's something going on here, but I'm not 100% sure. I need to see that on lower time frames. And then I also see, okay, so I see this wick almost touching that level. So right now that actually looks really good. And then right here, I do want to move this down a bit. So, okay, yeah. So I'm looking at this and I see all these wicks right here. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 wicks. And then I also see these wicks kind of touching this level. So I do like this right around 23.50-ish area. So that looks good to me. And I do have some alerts here, so I'm just going to leave those alone. And then I do see some support right here. Let me see how this looks if I move this down just a little bit. Okay, I kind of like it here. Around 22.85, so that's a really good level. So now let's go down to the H4 time frame and let's see what's happening. Okay, cool. Still looks good. Okay, so I still like this level right here. And then I'm looking at this. I do see some resistances, or resistance and a support together. I do see a support right here. And then I do see a resistance, although that actually turned into support later. This is some sort of rejection level. This looks good. Okay, cool. So going right here, I really like this area where there's a lot of wicks in this area. So I like that as well. And then we have a nice support here. So that's cool. And then this is looking good right here. Let me scoot this in a little bit more. Okay, so I'm liking this level right here, the one that we made at 22.85, mainly because we do have some rejections here, so that is looking great. Okay, so let's go down to the H2 time frame and see if we see something different. Let's reset our views and go like this. All right, so now that we're on this time frame, I reset the view a little bit just to kind of scoot everything in. And okay, so I've reset my view a bit, mainly because as you go down to lower time frames, it's going to be a lot difficult for you to see everything. So you really have to scoot it in to see all the data, and that's just kind of what I did right here. So let me move this in a little bit more. So based on everything that I see right now, so far it looks really good. I don't see anything that I want to change, at least not on this time frame. Let me see. Okay, so that looks good for right now. So the thing that I was looking at is I see this resistance point, and this is basically a point where price stopped and it went down. And this is at pretty much 24.50, so that's a nice level. So I could mark this off. Let me just mark this off because I want to see what this looks like on the H1 time frame. So I'm going to make this really thin. Ooh, and then look, it lined up with this level perfectly. So let's keep dragging across and let's just see. Okay, yeah, I definitely want to have this level for sure. Okay, so I'm seeing that it lined up with this point right here, these rejections right here, and then it also, that's kind of a fake out, but then there's a support right here. So I definitely want to keep this 24.50 level just because price has either use that level as a support or a resistance, and I definitely want to keep an eye out for that, especially because we do have this nice support right here, and then price just shot up from there. So definitely a move I was not in. I was actually trying to short, as you saw at the beginning of this video if you were looking at my screen. I got like a small profit because I got stopped out in profit, but this would have been a really nice move if I was looking for buys. So anyway, I definitely want to mark that off. So let's go down to the H1 time frame. Let's reset our views. Okay, this is looking great so far. Okay, I'm just looking at things, just kind of eyeballing it just to make sure that everything still looks good. Okay, so now what I want to do, actually let me check the bottom levels. They should be fine, but I want to look at them before we move into the analysis piece in this video. Okay, or the game plan part. Okay, that looks good. Okay, that still looks good. Okay, yeah, I think this is good right here. It's just a rejection level. I like that. Okay, cool. So now let's go back. Let's just reset our view so we can start at the top. Okay, so now before we get into if you haven't downloaded the 54 tips to eliminate fear and take profitable day trades, you're missing out because there's so much good information in that. And for right now, this product is free. So all you have to do is fill out this short form and then hit download now and then check your inbox, and then you should see the document in your inbox. So go ahead and check it out. It's in the description box below. So now let's get back to the game plan for the week. All right, so when it comes to the game plan for this week, there are a couple of things that I see right off the bat. One of the things that I see that is really sticking out to me, can't talk, but is right here. So I see this rejection or this resistance here, a little rejection, and then a resistance kind of zone right here. So this is something that I definitely want to mark off, just using a horizontal ray to mark that off, mainly because price came up here 3 times and then rejected. And then at some point it did come back up here. So I know that there were quite a few news events this past week. So this one, I think this was one. Yes, because I was in a buy and I got stopped out in profit. I had already taken off 75, 80% of my position. So I was good, but I got stopped out in profit. It was on this candle right here. I do remember that. I think I got in somewhere in here, I believe. So anyway, it was a really good move. But Yeah. So anyway, so that's something that I see. And then also I do see this little support right here, mainly because price did form this really big bearish candle, but then it pushed up. So let me go ahead and mark this off. So sometimes I use boxes, sometimes I use lines. It really doesn't matter. It's whatever you want, but this is just what I want on my chart. So I do want to mark that level off. And then since we're at this all-time high, it is really hard to say where price is going to go. So like, price could do anything. So there's no data for us to really use at this point. So what I like to do is I like to wait to see what price is actually going to do. Like if price was to, create a new high, I'm not just going to hop into the move. Because I don't know where it's going to go. I like to know where price has the potential to go. So price could go anywhere up here, but as far as what I see price most likely doing is right here, since it formed a little resistance right here at the high, I do see price coming back down to this area and then maybe trying to retest this high. I definitely see that happening. And then maybe we may have a deeper pullback. So maybe price may come back to this level and then try to retest the high. And then we could have an even deeper pullback. So let's go here. Price could actually come all the way down here and retest the highs. So basically my bias for at least what I'm seeing right now on the charts is definitely bullish. As things happen throughout the week, I tend to adjust my plan based on, well, not really the plan usually remains the same, but it's more so I adjust my levels, my minor levels like this one or this one, based on what price is doing. So pretty much I'm looking at this. So that is pretty much my analysis for the upside. So let's see what could possibly happen on the downside. So there is a level that I see right here at 24.40. So basically, I want to mark off this level mainly because I do see a support here, and a support here. So even though these have really big wicks, and if you go down to a lower time frame, you will see some actual candles form there. But what I focus on is on the higher time frames because that gives me a lot more confidence. So technically I could short at this level, but I don't want to, mainly because we do have a really strong support really close to this. So pretty much if I was looking to short this market, I would actually want to do it. Let me use this again. This is a little choppy too, so it's a little bit rough, but basically I would want to do it. Ooh, I like this level right here. Do it below 24.16, and that's just me, mainly because I want to play it safe. And I want to play it safe mainly because, let me do this really quick. So right now I want to mark this off to about right here. Use another horizontal ray right here. And this is at 23.80, where I'm marking this off mainly because this is a really nice range for price to go down. But like I was saying before, I really don't want to short anything below probably this level, mainly because of the fact that price is such, it has a lot of bullish momentum. And during this week, I tried to short at one point, got a little bit of profit, but it didn't go into my favor, mainly because there was a lot of bullish momentum inside of the market. Now, next week, we don't know what could happen. This whole thing could reverse, but I would feel a lot more comfortable below this level actually shorting. Now, technically, yes, I can short at this point. However, to me, let me measure this. There's a really strong support here, and price, even though this is 120 something pips, it is a shortable area for sure, but there's a really strong support here because if you look left, you see all this consolidation here, but then you do see a nice support, price bounced up. You do see a fake out, price went up. And then here, okay, it finally broke and it went all the way down. So, and then same here, you see this. So anyway, so just looking back in time, this is a really strong area, and I probably would want to wait until price was clear of this area for me to want to short. So I'm going to put this here. So ideally, I would want to short right here. And although I could short right here, but typically I probably don't want to. But I am mostly focused on definitely buys from this level right here. And then I'm also focused on buys definitely from this level right here. So, and then let me do one more. And then from this level right here. So this price action this week is a little crazy, mainly because we had a lot of really high impact news events. However, just looking at market structure, I am looking at basically this game plan for this upcoming week, and pretty much anything in this area. Let's see, I could actually, let me do this here. I'm actually interested in buys right here as well. I forgot to mark that off because, like I said, this is a really strong support level. Price did kind of come into this zone and then it went all the way up. That is a really big move. So I definitely want to be a part of that. If for whatever reason, actually, let me set an alert there. For whatever reason, price comes all the way back here. But that's just pretty much me and my game plan. Now, if price was to break this, then yeah, I'd be looking for shorts. And like I said, for me, I would feel comfortable below here. But technically, below here, I could actually do it as well, especially because this is enough range. So, but anyway, but that's my game plan for this upcoming week. Hopefully, you learned something from this and you could use some of these lessons that I just talked about inside the market to help your own trading. And I'll see you next time.